Hey, there he is. I can't hear you, man. You're on mute.
Am I on mute now?
Oh, no, mate. That was like honey being dripped into my ear holes by cherubim.
Cherubim? Is that
cherubim? Yeah.
What's cherubim?
You know those Cupid?
Oh yeah.
Cherubim.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't know that's what they were called. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Learn something new every day.
Little,
hello, folks.
Little chubby toddlers with wings and weird intentions.
That sounds very
probably
yeah.
Probably too much knowledge for toddlers as well, which is unusual. But hey, they're floating around in heaven.
Let
Anyway, I just want to
start again.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I just want to welcome everybody to this latest episode of the podcast. As you can see, today we have Michael Ironside with us, famous actor from Total Recall, Starship Troopers, many other amazing 1980s and 90s films. Michael, how are you doing?
How can I break this to you? I'm not Michael Ironside.
Well, that's not what you said to me last time we were together. How's it going? I like that you.
Well, how can I? Wait a minute. Right, we got to clear this up, right?
What?
At what point do you think I said to you, in a moment of pure intimacy,
in embrace,
I'm Michael Ironside?
It was actually
you and I together.
I was the little spoon. Yeah. And I remember.
No, stop, please.
I remember you came
please
up.
Stop.
You were staying over. We were in that log cabin. We had separate rooms, and you said you felt very cold, and you needed some warmth. You snuck in my bed, crept under the covers, spooned me, and then whispered in my ear, "Just pretend I'm Michael Ironside." And I said, "I'm going to go to Recall and get my memory of this incident wiped." And you said,
or you could have replied,
"Get your ass to Mars."
I was saying you could see what party Richter.
Yeah. And how long are you staying for? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Anyway, babe. Don't forget to.
Anyway, yeah.
Don't forget to open your mind.
Like and subscribe.
Open your mind
and
to also like and subscribe. Smash that like button.
Subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button. Let's go. Yeah, well done. Thanks for reminding me, because I tend to forget that until the end. I don't think many people stay till the very end. What am I talking about? Of course they do.
I wonder why.
Well, it's because
creepy intros.
I promised them, I promised them Michael Ironside, and they end up with Michael Copper.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lee Copperbottom.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not my fault. Anyway, let's start again. Let's just. Hey guys. Hey everyone.
Lee hey everybody. How's it going, Cybernauts?
Lee,
welcome.
Not Michael. Lee.
Hey Lee, how's it going? Lee, what's your middle name? Have you got a middle name? Are you allowed to say that on the air for everybody?
Yeah, it's Ernest.
Is it really? Are you Lee Ernest Hutchings?
Yes.
That's amazing.
I am, sir. Thank you.
What were you folks thinking when they gave you that?
Well, one of them was called Ernest, and then his father was called Ernest. So there's a pattern emerging here.
Wow.
Anyway, so what are we talking about? Oh yeah, Casino Royale. So in the book and the film, so Le Chiffre has captures Bond and does the torture scene with the wicker chair. So the wicker chair is from the book. Now in the book, because in the film he uses that piece of rope with the knot with the ball, and he swings it, right?
Yeah.
Le Chiffre swings it and hits Bond with it. So in the book, it's what do you call it? You know, though, you know when you
like a fly swatter.
Trying to think of it. Kind of, but you know when like for curtains or rugs, rug beater. You know those old-fashioned rug beaters.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was one of those, and he had it, and Le Chiffre places it underneath Bond, so the wide bit is underneath Bond.
Yeah.
And then he sort of hits the handle part. And then it goes up, and then.
I'm glad they changed that.
Anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm glad they changed that because I think that not many people would have gotten what that was because it's quite an old-timey invention.
Well, I mean, the book came out in 1953, so obviously 1953 they were very commonplace, but
yeah,
you know,
not so much anymore. You don't see many people beating their rugs nowadays.
That's what's gone wrong with the world today. You know, no one's beating their rugs.
Like taking
out all their frustration.
On old episodes of Coronation Street, I would imagine the opening, you would see an old lady in a pinny out in the backyard, rug over the washing line, beating that thing to high hell, getting all that dust out.
Yeah.
Before vacuum cleaners were a thing.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, because vacuum cleaners were at that time very expensive. So I guess the next best thing to do would be to take out your rug or duvet or
because like
a damn good thrashing.
Yeah, because fitted carpet wouldn't have been necessarily a thing either.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's true.
So it's probably.
Right, I'm going to turn on. Sorry, go for it.
No, you let there be light.
I'm going to turn on the other light because I do look quite dark.
Yeah,
it looks quite sinister. So I'm going to turn on my main light. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Just talk to yourself.
Yeah, I will. So, as you may or may not know, this is the third time Lee Hutchings and I have got together. I think it's the third. I think it's part 3.
Okay, is that any? Oh, I'm back. Is that any better?
That is better. Yeah.
Oh, look at the shine. Look at this.
Yeah. That's why I wear a hat. So,
what have I got? I've got a woolly hat. Will that do?
Do it. Go for it.
It's going to be too. No, it's going to be too hot.
You will be too hot. I was going to wear a woolly hat, but I can't wear a wool. You know the picture I sent you earlier with the orange hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to wear that, but it's too hot. You can't do it. It's too woolly, too insulated. But I do have a scarf. Like I've got a scarf, not that you can tell. There you go.
Why are you wearing a scarf for?
I don't know. I kind of I just like the way it feels. Okay. It keeps me calm.
Okay, fair enough. Just make sure you don't catch it in a door.
Yeah, it's really long as well. You know, like Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, you mean Tom Baker, 4th Doctor?
Yeah, Tom Baker, the voice of Little Britain. You said that you weren't going to wear your glasses, but because I was going to get mine, and then we could have been matching.
Oh, for God's sake!
It doesn't matter. Let's crack on.
Look, you're wearing the hat. I'm wearing the glasses. That's all that matters.
And there we go. I'm going to have to go like this because part of my face keeps vanishing. Here, have you noticed?
It melts into your scarf.
I am a changeling.
Well,
I'm one of those melty people who can turn into anyone or anything at any time.
Is this some random Star Trek Deep Space Nine Odo reference?
No. So, Lee, how have you been?
Well, firstly, should you tell your audience
who you are?
Who I am? Yes.
They know who you are.
Who am I?
They've met you before.
Well, I don't know.
This is our third time, isn't it?
No, second.
Is this Lee Hutchings part 2?
It is. Part
Okay.
deux.
Part deux.
Because the first
Um,
time was 3-hour chat.
Yeah.
Which
I
was
think I'm
some
getting
time.
confused because the second time was when you did a talk for the students.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the official Cybernaut Club meets Lee Hutchings part 2.
Part deux.
Part 2.
That's,
I'm doing the peace sign, but I have no fingers. Oh, there they are. Look at that. That was a magic trick, wasn't
Well,
it?
I'm not doing the peace sign. I'm just doing two. Just hold
Okay.
up 2 fingers.
Okay.
That's it. Part deux. Part 2.
So are you am I allowed to say this, but are you in Essex right now?
No.
Oh,
No,
are you,
I've moved again. Right. Can I
Okay.
explain to your viewers what's been going on since we last spoke?
yeah, that'd be good. It'd be good for me as well.
Yeah. Be good for me too. Excuse me. So the last time we spoke was, oh wow, when was it? April, May?
No, it was after that. We
June?
did, yeah. No, it was about August, and then
Wow.
because the first week of September we did the talk with the students.
Yeah.
So it was kind of August time, something like that. That's when we first got to meet one
Yeah.
another.
I'm sure it was earlier than that. Anyway, it was some time ago, earlier this year.
Yeah.
And I was living in Surrey. I'm living in Surrey now, but a different place. But recently, the last couple of weeks, I've been living back in my home county of Essex. I was staying with some friends. And now I've moved back to Surrey, the county of Surrey, to this place here with my semi-reliable TV. Yes, I've gone through a big period of change, lots of transitioning. So,
And how's that been on you? Because that's quite a lot of change to deal with, like moving
Yeah.
around quite a bit. Are you all right?
I'm okay, man. I'm okay. I'm better now than I was before, because I think when I appeared the last time, I'd left my music course, I think.
Yeah, you'd left your music
Yes.
course, and then you
Yeah.
did the SinJin Lover, and
I did,
then
yes.
and so we played that on the episode. Yeah, so maybe it was May or June. Yeah,
Probably
sounds
July. I
about
think it was
right.
July, August.
July, yeah, okay.
So SinJin Lover, the Airwolf song, I did that, and then I did another one which was Dom's Delight.
Yeah, which was a completely different style. Still good, but yeah, totally different.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that you were more than a one-trick pony. You had like multiple talents coming out, different styles of guitar, electric, acoustic, like all sorts of things going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've done on and off. It's something I've done for a very, very long time. But yeah, so I was in a period of change. I wasn't very happy. I had to sort things out. I decided to move from my last place sort of prematurely before I was supposed to. I was meant to be there for a year, but I decided to get out 6 months in. Wasn't very happy there for different reasons. And I thought I'd try and be clever and try and move before Christmas. And I thought I'd find a place in the area, the same area I'd been living in for years. And didn't really work out that way. Couldn't find anything that I liked. And so I ended up at the 11th hour asking a friend back in Essex, back in a place called Chelmsford, if they'd have me for a couple of weeks while I got my shit together. And they said yes, and they were very kind and gracious, and they they gave me a bed and a room to stay in. And in that time I was applying for work in that area and down here back in Surrey.
Yeah.
So the intention of the reason for being here is in January 2022, I may be starting a course, a level 2 certificate course for counselling.
Okay.
So that's why I've come back to Surrey to to set up shop, so to speak, and to prepare for that. So in the meantime, I've now found a part-time Christmas job to keep me going until the start of next year, and then the plan is to do this course and then find some other employment, and then just kind of see how things go. But things change, things always change. But I mean, that's the plan for now.
Yeah. And you're happier now?
At the moment, right now, yeah, it wasn't always the case. Especially when I didn't have a place to move to, and then obviously moving to moving to Chelmsford was a bit of a bit of a
culture shock, maybe.
Culture shock, and sort of it was a bit strange because coming from Essex, I hadn't lived in Essex properly since the late 2000s, so it was very strange to be back in my own home county.
Was it I know that in situations in the past where I've moved back to a place that would have been like an old stomping ground, it drags up old emotions and old memories and stuff like that. Did you have any of that going on while you were there?
Yeah, because Chelmsford's a place I know really well for two reasons. One, I dated someone there, and at the same time, I was in a band that was based in Chelmsford. So I used to spend a lot of my time in Chelmsford in the 2000s. So to go back there and sort of see it with a sort of fresh but also old pair of eyes, it was a bit strange. But it was nice to be there.
When did you first leave there?
Well, I never lived in Chelmsford. I lived in Clacton, which is on the coast. Yeah. And I left in 2008. Okay. I think it was 2008. Yeah. So.
But you were familiar with the area.
Oh yeah.
And then so since 2008, you've lived down in Surrey or there?
No, I lived in Kent for a while and then moved to London and was there for a long time and then moved to Surrey. We touched on this in the last episode. If you would want to go back and listen to that one rather than me repeat myself.
Ooh. So I wanted to ask you, you've got I can see the guitar there. It's too tempting for me to, go on. You do something for us. Come on.
No.
Wow, I'm honored then.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So, so you said that you've got, is it a seasonal job or a temp job? Or do you want to talk about that?
Christmas. Yeah. Christmas job.
Yeah.
Christmas job. So, it's for a high street retailer that sells books.
Okay.
Work it out for yourselves.
Yeah.
And
how is it? Are you enjoying it? Because I always figured that a high street retailer such as that would be a really nice, a really sort of relaxing place to work, where I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that it's not challenging, because I myself have also worked for HMV in the past, so I know what it's like to do customer service and work on the high street, especially around Christmas. It's hectic. But I always thought that that particular store would be really nice to work in. Just the environment is nice. You've got the books all around, and the kind of people who will come up to you and ask for, this or that. Is it nice, or am I looking at that through rose tinted glasses?
I mean, what you're saying could be true, but I don't start until Tuesday.
Oh, right.
So today's Saturday, the 6th of November, and I start on Tuesday.
Well, cross my palm with silver, because there you go. That's the experience you're going to have. Yeah, I think so. I mean, you must also think that as well, because otherwise, you wouldn't have gone for it.
No, I do like that particular shop, and I like books. That helps.
I like reading books.
I like books.
I like books because they can teleport me to different places and times and characters and scenarios that I could never experience by myself.
Yeah, that's the voice in my head.
Nice.
But when I read a book, that's the voice I hear in my head. No, I like reading, and I want to get back to writing, which is something I've loved doing. I don't do that much of it these days, but I want to get back and do some more. I think the same thing. It's definitely a store, an atmosphere which I like being in.
Yeah.
Although I guess it's going to get much more. It's going to be more hectic in the coming weeks. And,
for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
But I mean, with some of those stores, the opportunity to meet celebrities is quite good. I met Simon Pegg in one of those in Liverpool. Back in 2008, I think it was. I was working for Sony in Liverpool in Wavertree at the time, and my shift was I used to work 7 till midnight on the late shift testing video games, and one of the lads who I was working with, called Adam, he actually has done the special effects for the latest Bond movies and others. So he lives in Canada now, and I haven't seen him since then. In fact, I haven't even seen him since the day we saw Simon Pegg. So we queued up out in the freezing cold, waiting for Simon Pegg to sign our copy of Nerd Done Good. And I was waiting for so long, and I was kind of just kept thinking, what am I going to say to him? What am I going to say to him? And I also had a copy of The Walking Dead in my hand, and Simon Pegg had written the foreword for that, and I was hoping that he would sign that. But this big gorilla, this massive bouncer on the queue was like, "Just one book, mate. Put that away." And I was like, "Cheers, pal." I've queued up for 5 hours, but no, never mind. And so eventually I got to Simon Pegg, and I was like overwhelmed. And I was kind of like, when he came out, I just thought, wow, he's tiny. You could put him in your pocket. Like, he's not very tall at all. Like, really, really, really short. Yeah. And he was very thin. And I thought, wow, he's so small. And I went up to him and I said, "Oh, all right, Simon. Like, I love all your movies. I've just been to see your latest one." And then obviously he's on a different schedule to what is coming out, So I was talking about Paul. Remember that one? Yeah. And he was talking about Burke and Hare.
Oh God.
Yeah. Do you know that one?
Yeah, I saw that in the cinema. Yeah.
Which is pretty good, but very low key film that not a lot of people know about. And so he was like, "Oh yeah, cool, Burke and Hare," and I was like, "What?" Like, he took me by, so I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "No, Paul. Obviously, it's everywhere." And then he signed the book, and he went, "There you go." And I went outside, and I was like, that was freaking awesome. And there was another part of me was like, damn, that was a waste of time. That was
very surreal.
That sucked. Surreal.
Yeah, very surreal thing. Yeah.
There was another time. I was over in Casablanca. I was working over in North Africa for Dior and L'Oreal, and I was doing audits.
Because you're worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm a men expert, L'Oreal men expert. I was over in Casablanca Airport, and I was waiting for my flight to go from there to, where were we going? Back to London, I think, from there. And I get to the gate terminal, and it's all, fully tiled, massive place, and, kind of a bit old looking. And I'm getting my bags, and I'm sat down, and I just hear this voice. I thought, man, I know that voice. And I look over to my right, and on his mobile phone was Viggo Mortensen.
Nice.
And I was like, "Oh, Viggo Mortensen, the king."
I thought you were going to say Simon Pegg.
No. Viggo Mortensen. And I was like, oh my God, because I was such a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And I'd seen him in Carlito's Way. you know, and loads of other films that he'd been in. And I was sat there and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to speak to him. I'm going to have to, like, this is like, there's no way that I can just get on this plane and not at least attempt to speak to Viggo Mortensen. So I was polite about it and I waited for him to finish his phone call, but I very creepily walked over to the section of seats where he was sitting. And I waited for him to finish his call. And then when he finished his call, I got up and I, just to confirm, because you know, you can never be 100%. I went and I said, excuse me, are you Viggo Mortensen? And he said, yes. And I said, I'm such a big fan. I'm a huge fan of yours. And he was like, oh, cool, very good. And I said, would it be too much trouble to take a selfie and for you to sign my book?
Oh.
And he said, yeah, sure, no problem.
Oh, okay.
So we took a selfie that he was, you know, he kindly did, but I can tell he didn't really want to do it.
Yeah.
But I was over the moon. And the only thing that I had on me that was paper was Arnold Schwarzenegger's biography, Total Recall, that I just finished reading.
Does he not have like a paper napkin or a piece of paper?
No, that was the only thing I've got. And I've got it on this shelf over here. And it's got Viggo Mortensen's autograph in it on the inside cover. And then he, you know, because we were stood up at that point, I went to put my stuff back in my bag. It was, you know, thank you so much. And I started sort of stuttering, tripping over my words. And I said to him, you know, I'm such a big fan. I didn't even mention Lord of the Rings. I said, I loved you in Scarface. He wasn't even in Scarface. He was in Carlito's Way. And he just looked and went, okay. And then he said, and then he looked and he said, very direct, he said, would you do me a favor? And I said, yeah, sure, anything. And he said, would you watch my bags for me while I go to the toilet? And I said, yeah, of course. So he left. He trusted me with his bags. And he had a script there for a movie that he was reading. Yeah.
Just pick it up and have a look. Like,
so, well, obviously I leaned over like and looked at the title.
Yeah.
And it was something, immediately I went on IMDb to see what was in pre-production.
Yeah.
And
wait up. Should we say now? Because if someone sees it, I know it's highly unlikely, but if someone sees this,
yeah,
that's connected to the film,
yeah,
and
it's years ago, it's fine. It's almost 10 years ago.
I don't want to get Viggo into trouble. That's all I'm saying.
Why is Viggo going to get into trouble?
Because
he's the king.
Maybe that's a script that he shouldn't have left out in the open. If someone's read it, that they shouldn't have read it, and just putting that out there.
He was on the phone to his mother, by the way.
Okay.
So let me tell you what so I was looking over and I saw the script, and it was for this film called Jauja. Have you heard of that one? Jauja? No. It says a father and daughter journey from Denmark to an unknown desert that exists in a realm beyond the confines of civilization.
Huh.
And that's what he was doing there. And it was filmed in I think it was roundabout either between Tunisia and Casablanca.
Nice.
In the deserts around there. When I flew over there from the UK, and I stayed in Tunisia first, and then I flew from Tunis to Casablanca, and we flew over the desert, and I'd never seen anything like it before. It was really, really bright orange, almost red. Like it looked like I was flying over Mars. I'd never seen any sand like that before. It was amazing to see. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, and then what happened was they call flight ready, go to the gate, whatever they say, go to the gate. Viggo's on my flight. And I thought, okay, I can kind of sit anywhere, I can sit next to him and be that guy, but I didn't. I was very good, and I sat at least 10 to 15 seats away from him.
On
the opposite row, and just left him to it. But but yeah, that was good. That was really cool. That was a nice meeting, and yeah, I've still got the book with the signature in it.
Cool,
That was the only thing I had. Does it remind you of you remember Step Brothers with Will Ferrell?
Yeah, I've not seen it though.
You've not seen it?
No,
What?
I'm not a massive Will Ferrell fan.
That would be the one to turn the tide. That would be it. So there's a bit where John C. Reilly whips out a samurai sword, and he goes, "Whoa, the samurai sword's amazing!" And he goes, "What's this squiggle on it?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got it signed by Randy Jackson," or something like that. And he's like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I bumped into Randy Jackson, and this is the only thing I had on me at the time, so I got him to sign a samurai sword." I think it was.
Yeah.
You know Frank Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cracker. That guy, that comedian.
Yeah.
He when I used to live up in Blackpool, I always used to go to this restaurant called Quilligan's, which is on the same stretch of road as the Winter Gardens in Blackpool.
Right.
And the food in there is amazing. And they have all of this movie memorabilia stuff, posters all over the wall, like sort of like big pictures of Res Dogs or Pulp Fiction or all the biggest action heroes as well.
Yeah.
And Frank Carson always used to go in there, and he would go in there for tea and lunch and stuff like that. And he was there one day, and he was telling jokes, and I was like, I can't believe this is Frank Carson. Like, obviously he's not of my era. He's of he would be very famous in my parents' era.
Yeah.
But I still knew of him from being a kid. He was on TV when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so I got up the courage to go and ask this old geezer, and I went over and I said, "Oh, Mr. Carson, can I get an autograph?" And I had like an exercise book, and I got that, got his signature in the back of an exercise book. And then I went and I paid for his bill, and he came up and he caught me paying his bill as I was on my way out, and he was like, "Oh no, what are you doing? You don't have to do that. I'm a millionaire. Like, what are you playing at?" And I was like, "Oh no, it's all right. Like, it's cool. It was only a couple of quid. He was only having a brew." But yeah, I lost that autograph, and he died not long after that. That's a crap story, isn't it? I'll probably cut that story.
Well, no, it was a good story until you tagged on the unhappy ending. I lost the autograph, and he died.
Yeah.
The end.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
One time, not at band camp in London.
Yeah.
In one weekend, I was down there. I think it was 2010. I think maybe round about that time, and I was down there, and I was going to a games conference, and I was trying to get into the games industry, and I was chatting to a guy from Sega, and I was with my old girlfriend at the time, and we were having a touristy time down in London. And then we were at the train station. I think we were at Waterloo, and I was just waiting for her to check in her bag or something so that she can leave it there so we can go out for the day. And then in the morning, we were in the hotel, and David Cameron was just launching his campaign to be Prime Minister of the UK. And then, lo and behold, we're in the train station half an hour later, and he walks by with his entourage, and he looks directly at me, and he goes, "Morning." And I was like, holy crap, he's so tall. Like, he was really tall. And then I was like, damn, I am so underdressed. Like, David Cameron just walked past me, and I was like, no, I look like a scrubber. That same weekend when I saw David Cameron, I also saw Johnny Vegas, which is like the complete opposite.
Chalk and cheese.
Yeah, the end of the spectrum. And he actually he got out of I want to say a limousine at a train station. Yeah. And then walked into the train station, and people were like, "Hey, Johnny!" But then I was just like, "Nah, it's only Johnny Vegas." Like, he's
yeah. And then
I
like Johnny Vegas.
Yeah, Monkey. So, are you ready to start the show? Because I remember you said that you wanted to talk today about combating or dealing with or coping with adversity. That was the theme for this episode.
That was the intention.
Are you feeling that theme?
No.
I like chewing the fat with you.
Chewing the fat.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. It's not healthy, really.
Like if you and I were wolves in a pack,
right,
and we had taken down a deer, there'd be nothing better than me chomping on a bone and eyeballing you, eating that liver, and then moving on to the bit of fat on the carcass next to me, and we're growling at each other and we're chewing the fat, looking at each other. That would be a moment.
Okay.
Don't you reckon? What if you could choose, like, say you found a genie and it gave you 3 wishes, but the wishes were only related to this particular genre, so you could turn into any 3 animals, so you could just use them at any time. What would those animals be, Lee Hutchings, and why?
That's. I guess dog would be one of them. Just because.
What kind of dog? Be more specific. There's about 1 million.
These are very specific questions.
What kind of dog? Like a Paris Hilton shit in the purse kind
like
of
a
dog?
Dog. Like a proper dog.
A proper dog?
No disrespect to anyone who owns, one of those small dogs, but I like a dog to be, like a
Labrador, or like,
or a German Shepherd,
Beethoven.
Or
like a Beethoven dog.
I like Rottweilers. I think they get a bad rap.
I love Rottweilers.
I've met a few Rottweilers in my time, and
I've dated a few Rottweilers in my time.
No comments. No, I think they get a bad rap. It's more about the owner. If the owner brings them up properly, then they're fine. But if they're brought up to be a weapon, then, but like any dog, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, there, and or
what dog would you want to be?
One of the ones I've listed.
And in what sort of scenario would you like to exist?
Well, just every day, you get to, lay around.
As like part of a family, or
yeah, you get to lay around for a bit, and then you go out for a run, and then you meet other dogs, and you play, and then you have your food. Well, maybe not that bit. Maybe not that bit. And then so dog would be one of them for sure.
When I was younger, and my parents separated, and I was living in the west of Ireland, I think to fill that hole, my mum allowed me to get a puppy and a cat, and this little beautiful dog, it was a very small dog, was called Brandy, and he was black and tan, but not like a Rottweiler or anything like that, just a very small dog. Almost like a Jack Russell crossed with something else, and he came out black and tan.
Yeah.
And I was feeling really, really ill one day, and I'd had a bowl of cornflakes, and my mum had gone out to work, and I was at home. I think I was home alone, or my younger brother was around. And so it's early in the morning. Mum's gone out to work, and I just had my cornflakes. I wasn't feeling it, and then I threw up in the hallway, all over the carpet. And you know what dogs are like.
No.
And he cleaned it. He ate all of the cornflakes and licked up all of the milk that came out of me. And that's a weird memory I've got. And then because I was feeling really ill, I thought, I know what I need. I need vitamin C to make me feel better. And we had a bag of mandarins in the kitchen. So I proceeded to eat every single last one of these what would be 10 or 12 mandarin oranges. And you know what happens when you eat too many mandarins?
I can guess.
So there was a good hour of my life there where I was rapidly becoming increasingly dehydrated from both ends. So it was a very, very bad time. Very, very bad time.
Well, thank you for tainting my choice there.
I'm gonna cut that out. There's no way I can leave that story in.
No, don't leave that story in. So I guess dog would be one for sure.
Yeah.
What other animals?
Anyway, so yes, moving on to the second animal. Yeah. What would you be?
Oh.
So you've been a dog for a bit. You've had a good dog life. Now, what are you going to be?
I guess maybe a horse.
Yeah.
Have a run around.
A male or female horse? Are you going to be male all the way?
Clearly male.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't have to be though. You could be female.
But I want to be a male horse. Why would I not be a male horse?
I don't know. I just wanted to ask, you could be a mare or you could be. So, what kind of horse are you going to be? Are you going to be a workhorse? Are you going to be a racing horse? Are you going to do the Grand National, or are you going to be a cowboy horse? Or are you going to be a
cowboy horse might be cool. Yeah, that might be cool.
A stud horse?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, these are very, very detailed questions, which I have literally
never considered.
No previous consideration for.
Have you ever seen that film with Freddy Got Fingered? You ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, so there's a bit in there where 1 second, let me get the actor's name.
Tom Green.
Yeah,
I know Tom Green.
Yeah, so 2001, Tom Green and Rip Torn. Rip Torn plays his dad, and Tom Green is this, Tom Green wild character, not having a job really. He works in a sandwich factory, and his dad kicks him out, tells him to go and find another job or something. Go live somewhere else. He's had enough of his antics, and they're in the countryside. And Tom Green gets his dad to pull over when they're passing a horse farm.
Yeah.
And then he gets those, Daddy, look at me, I'm a horse farmer, Daddy, or something like that. And bad times. But he does it at the end of the film with an elephant. Do you remember?
Yeah, I know. I've heard all the stories. I've just never watched it. Again, this is probably something you have to cut out.
Yeah, probably. But last night, the wife and I finally got around to watching Mortal Kombat. Have you seen that? The new one?
No interest, mate.
No? It was really good. It was very good.
What? Very good. Why don't you get around to watching Bond? And what was the other one I said?
Dune.
Yeah, what's Dune. Dune. How do we pronounce it?
June.
Yeah,
June.
what? June.
The June buggy.
Yeah. Yeah, watch those because I've seen those. And I saw the French Dispatch yesterday, which is it's the new Wes Anderson film.
Okay. Oh, I love Wes Anderson.
Oh, you'll love that then. You'll love the French Dispatch.
My favorite Wes Anderson film is The Darjeeling Limited.
Yeah, I saw that years ago.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once.
It also has a pre-movie.
A
little short that comes on before it.
Which is Natalie Portman.
Yeah, and the brother who has the mustache, although he doesn't have the mustache in the pre-movie. Nicolas Cage's cousin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, and that's like a prelude to the situation that he finds himself in the film. And the thing that I know that this might be obvious to point out or simplistic of an idea, but the thing that I really liked about that film was the fact that all of the three brothers were carrying around their father's luggage. So they had this beautiful set of leather luggage and hand luggage and stuff like that with all their clothes and belongings in as they travel around India.
Yeah.
And as they eventually they go from one place to the other, and they start learning more about themselves and learning more about each other, they start to lose this luggage, and the luggage is like a metaphor for them carrying around the baggage of their father's death.
Yeah.
And eventually they lose it all as they go on that journey, the very forced spiritual journey that was documented in that film. But
yeah,
I think that film's really, really great. I love that one. Yeah.
I've not seen it in a while though, so I have to go back and rewatch it.
I like the soundtrack as well. And I also really like, I'm very, 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 very fond of The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Yeah, I've only seen bits of that.
Again, phenomenal soundtrack. Portuguese, I think Portuguese or Portuguese Brazilian singer who sings all of the David Bowie songs in Portuguese.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very nice, like acoustic guitar, and listening to obviously we know the lyrics and we know the songs of David Bowie, but to hear like Life on Mars in Portuguese is magical. Yeah, really, really nice. So I definitely recommend that.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Wes Anderson, I could talk about that for a while. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like what's the one with the hotel? What's that one? The big pink
Grand Budapest
Hotel. Yeah. That's okay. That's all right. It's good. It feels, I don't know. It's not. It's good, but it's not one that I would go to as frequently as the others.
Yeah, I think that was his last film. Was that his last film before French Dispatch? Oh no, it was the animated one. It was the one with the dogs.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh no, Fantastic Mr. Fox, I think, came before.
Oh, and then there was Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs.
Which is I love dogs. I love dogs. Yeah. I haven't seen the Isle of Dogs. Because I really didn't like the Fantastic Mr. Fox adaptation that he did. Because that was one of my favorite books growing up as a kid. So the images of bogs, beans, and whatever they were, the farmers and the fox and the battle that they had was already painted and very, very strongly embedded in my mind from early childhood, because I love Roald Dahl books. So yeah, when I watched it and it was George Clooney's voice, and it just I didn't like it.
Well, it was it was Wes Anderson. I mean, it was very Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson does Roald Dahl, and there are things in it which are, I mean, I think it's a watchable film for sure. I think all his films are quite watchable, but I think sometimes the style can overwhelm the story, and particularly that story, especially that story, because it's such a well-known tale over here. I think in America they sort of know Roald Dahl from things like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and maybe The Witches, but they may not know his other work, including his adult work as well, his adult fiction, which is really, really good. I used to read, I had a book of his some of his short stories, which are really good. Also, coincidentally, talking about Bond, he wrote the screenplay for the Sean Connery film You Only Live Twice.
Who did? Wes Anderson?
Roald Dahl.
Oh, right. Okay.
There you go. He adapted the book. There you go.
You Only Live Twice. Who was the Bond in that? Timothy Dalton?
Sean Connery.
Oh yeah, I know that one quite well. That's the one where he dresses up as a Japanese man, isn't it? And it's very dodgy by today's standards.
Well, it was dodgy by 1967 standards. To be fair.
1967, spot on.
Yeah, it wasn't very. It wasn't great, but
I like that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the one. It's the one that gave birth to Austin Powers. If you know Austin Powers, and then you go and watch You Only Live Twice.
Yeah, it's iconic.
The volcano base and the way that Donald Pleasance plays Blofeld, the villain Blofeld, with the scar and the pussycat and all that stuff. It's very Austin Powers before Austin Powers. So I'm a fan of the earlier Bond one. The
Do
first
you
four.
do you miss the Austin Powers films? Because like, are you a fan? I just feel like they're so good. Like Austin Powers and Wayne's World, pretty good.
I like the first one. I've never seen the second one.
The Austin
and
Powers movies. You
Yeah,
haven't seen the second one's really good.
so I haven't seen Spy Who Shagged Me. I did see Gold. I saw Goldmember in the cinema.
Yeah,
I
I think.
Gold. Or was it? No, it doesn't-
Yeah,
that's.
I love gold.
I love Gold.
Oh, how tight you are! You're so tight.
Yeah. I mean, Goldmember was funny, but obviously the first one's the best.
Yeah,
The security guard when they're on the roll, he's like, oh, and there's this massive gap between the two of them. Get out the way! Get out the way! What? That's funny. That's funny.
And trying to turn around that thing in.
That's so funny. Good. We've all been there.
And Elizabeth Hurley again was,
Beautiful.
wonderful.
She still is. She still is.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever the grammar is. She
remains. She remains unbelievable.
She remains beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing. Like I want to know how it's done. You see some of these people. You know, I think somebody said to me before. It's because they're rich. It's because they're rich, mate. They have no worries. Like you see the average Joe.
Yeah.
But it's not that, because there must be plenty of ugly rich people.
That's a spin-off show for you. Ugly rich people. Today we're going to be. Today's ugly rich person is.
Today's ugly rich person is Danny DeVito.
No, Danny's lovely. Don't pick on Danny.
I love Danny.
He's a funny man. He's a very funny man.
Did you know that I exclusively paint pictures of Danny DeVito? Did you know that?
No,
if you go onto my website, Cybernaut Club, and click on the About section, down at the bottom, you'll see seven oil paintings of Danny DeVito that I painted.
Does he know that you've painted these pictures?
I wish he did.
Why didn't you reach out to him? I think he's on Instagram.
I think it's a thing, you know, like people do it. Like a lot of people paint pictures of Danny DeVito, and mine are not as good as other people's.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I mean, appreciate them.
I'd hope so.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah, I think he would.
A nice guy. I'm sure he would.
I did. Yeah, I've done a few as Danny as Frank from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
The one with the clip with the gun. I love that. I love that. That's so funny.
I did him, Danny and Schwarzenegger in Twins. When they embrace.
Nice.
And I've done Danny on a chat show, you know, as himself. And I've done Danny as Frank from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when he's trapped in a toilet on an airplane wearing a t-shirt that says "feminist as F." So yeah, there's a whole collection on there. You can check them out.
Wow.
On the bottom of that page.
I should say that I've gone back onto the Airwolf Years podcast.
Yeah.
So my second appearance was released this week. It was released on Monday what was it, Monday the 1st? Yeah, Monday the 1st of November. The episode called blimey, let me just check something. I forget the name of the episode. Anyway, the one that was released on the 1st of November, that's my latest appearance from the first time I appeared on the episode, on the podcast. And you know, interacting with Greg, Dave and Greg on that show has been a huge inspiration to me. Both guys I love both of those guys. They're lovely guys, and they do a great job. They're really, really good at what they do and very entertaining. And obviously appearing on you know, this show with you's been inspiring too. So yeah, I mean, you know, sometime next year I may do my own podcast.
Yeah. And
maybe do a YouTube, like, you know, a YouTube version and a podcast version, and then
because like I don't really, you know, I call this a podcast, but I'm only on YouTube. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't you know, I don't put it out there as a podcast, but I might do, you know, later.
Well,
when I've got a few.
Yeah, you're the opposite of Dave and Greg.
Right.
Because the Airwolf Years is podcast only.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I've been banging on to them for ages. I said, do a YouTube version, just
Yeah.
because when we record the episodes, or the episodes that I've appeared on anyway, it's been like this.
Yeah.
Video with the audio, and they take the audio and then they slap it on, Spotify and
Yeah.
I think Apple Tunes or whatever.
That's
iTunes and all that
that's
kind of
what
stuff.
Alex does as well, which was like, I was like, you have these people that people want to see, like, and you've got the voice of Jean Bruce Scott, you've got the voice of whoever it is, and that's okay, I guess.
Well,
but,
I mean, it does work because you've got people like Adam Buxton doing his podcast.
Yeah.
And then you've got Rob Reiner. He's doing one now.
Sure.
It's just the podcast. But with Dave and Greg, because Dave and Greg, they're very funny guys.
Are they as funny as us though?
Yeah, I reckon we're probably on the same. I think they're funnier than me, but that's.
I'm surprised that I'm surprised at how coy you became when I started to dish out the dark humor, because I we have good banter, you and I. But obviously normally, I was conscious that this show's going to be cut, so I was kind of just testing the boundaries just to see how far I could go.
I don't mind crudeness, but I think for me, I'm very sensitive to some of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of it's funny, but sometimes I just want to go, I don't want to get into that conversation. Yeah. So I'm a delicate flower. I'm a delicate flower blowing in the wind. That's me blowing in the wind. Like that.
I don't get that impression from you at all.
No, I'm quite a sensitive person. I think most of us put on personas.
Because to me, what I see is, I think that Lee Hutchings is quite a hard guy, quite a hard bloke. That's what I see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that.
See, that's me performing.
Right.
If you say something, I perform. That gives that then
maybe
then selling myself as something.
Maybe I've got you totally wrong. I don't know who you are at all. Like, because in my mind, you're like you're almost like a rebel without a cause. Like, you're a guy who's out there drinking, like doing cocaine, snort. Just.
Are you actually being serious right now?
That's the vibe you give off.
No, I don't do that. Why would you think that?
I don't know.
I like a drink
because you play rock and roll music.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I do drugs. I mean, I like a drink now and again, bottle of what have you, but I don't do it. No, none of those.
Okay.
No. Never.
Okay.
I've never done drugs. Never do drugs.
You've never done drugs?
No. Well, there was one time involving space cakes, which was nothing to do with me. I was an innocent bystander. Went to a party where they had food laced with marijuana, and I didn't know about it, but everyone else did.
And did you have some?
Yeah, of course I did. I didn't realize it was laced.
And did you like it?
It's free food. You get, you like that. It was it was party food, so you're munching away. And then
did you like it though? Was it good?
No, I had a bad experience.
Oh,
like you were saying earlier, that bit you're going to cut out.
I don't remember. I always listen back to. I listen back and cut out.
Well, the bit where you were ill.
Yeah.
That was me. Not without the dog.
Yeah.
Without the dog, there was no dog. So that's the only time, and I then had to go and play drums that morning because I stayed overnight. I left the mess. I said, right, you can clear up this mess. I'm out of here. So that was my payback to them. And then I had to go and play drums that morning. So I had to travel from Colchester to Clacton on a moped. It was a Sunday morning, and I had a splitting headache, like a migraine. But it wasn't a migraine. It was really intense. And I had to travel back like 20 miles on a Sunday morning to then go and play drums. That's my one experience of drugs, and it's not fun. And it wasn't even my fault. It wasn't even something I was looking to do. So
That's crazy. I totally got you wrong.
Can't believe you thought I was some sort of drug head.
Yeah, well, not like not like in a really bad way, but I just thought that you were like the a wild guy. Like
No. I'm not. Well, I wasn't very wild in my younger days. To be fair, I had my moments when I had one too many, beverages, but nothing like like that kind of nothing wild or zany or madcap. Not really. No, pretty pedestrian, really.
Oh,
I'm sorry to have smashed that illusion.
Maybe I was just maybe I was projecting onto you. Maybe I'm the maniac.
It's the beard. It's the beard that does it. Yeah. You see me, you see yourself, you think there's a handsome man.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he's got no time. Like he's not, married with kids. He must be like I was not so long ago.
Man. Hey, man, I've had relationships, and that's another episode there. Relationships.
What happened with that girl?
I'm not talking about relationships, man.
No.
Not going there, mate. No. It's a can of worms, my friend.
Like how long were you with that girl for? That last girl that you were with?
3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. So it's been a couple of years since we broke up, but yeah, I don't want to.
You not fancy replacing her with someone?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, I think 2 years is enough time to start over, but
it never took me more than a shower to start over. I was like a bee going from flower to flower. Like,
See, I'm more of a relationship guy. Yeah. Okay. I've tried the one night stand thing, but never quite worked out. It always felt a bit weird to me. Yeah. But then it's ironic because I say I'm a relationship kind of person, but yet when I get into long-term relationships, which are more than a year, let's say, I kind of get bored.
Yeah, that's it's like if you eat cornflakes every day for breakfast. I mean, good. You need variety pack. For real. You can't just eat the same flavor ice cream every time.
I think also it's about the person you're with. I think there are some people who meet people who just click. And then, I mean, obviously, I don't know what it's like for you and your wife, but I mean, obviously, you've had children.
Horrible, mate. It's horrible. I don't recommend getting married. Horrible.
Well,
no, I'm joking.
Well, you've obviously got two beautiful girls, daughters. You've got a lovely wife. So something's worked there, and obviously it's working, and and it's always you're always going day by day. But for me, relationships, I think the problem I have with being in a relationship or relationships just generally anyway is me. I think the problem's me, and there are things that I need to work on.
Yeah.
First, before I commit to some kind of long-term, meaningful, relationship. So
what kind of things is it that you need to work on, or that you want to improve?
A purpose, self-happiness.
Children will give you that. If you have a kid, you'll find purpose. Trust me.
Yeah, but you need to have a partner first before you have the kid. Unless you're a girl and you can sort that out pretty quick. You don't need a partner. Wow. Yeah, children will give you life meaning. Well, children, I think, I've worked with children for years and years, so I know what it's like working with many. But
it's different working with them than actually having them there the whole time.
If you've got kids, then they're an extension of you. To sort of sound a bit selfish there, but they are an extension of you. They are their own person, but they are an extension of you. So there is that connection there. They come from you, literally.
Oh, dude, and it's so strong. Like I didn't expect it. Like, that connection with my daughters is just it's overwhelming. Like I didn't think I could love anything or anyone the way I love my children. It's madness. And I can't even describe it to you. You will only know what I'm talking about when you have your own kids.
Madness. That's true.
Yeah. like you can have it's because it's different to, I've been in love before, like intense romantic love and lust and stuff like that with girlfriends and girls in the past, and that feels a certain way. But this is like you do anything to protect this little thing. It's totally different. It's weird, very weird.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough, man. I get that, but I'm sort of looking at things from inside right now. Looking at me, at who I am, and this is a period of just reflection and stepping back, and then stepping forward again when I'm ready to.
That's good though, and what I want to say, Lee, that you look a lot happier and a lot more at ease than you did the last time we spoke. Do you remember when you sent me a picture and I said, "Oh, dude, you got a black eye." You look strung out and stressed then, and now you look so much happier. No black eye there. No.
No, I mean, I definitely, thank you. I mean, I definitely feel better than I did before. I mean, I've started exercising again. I'm
grown a beard.
Growing a beard. That's what it is, growing a beard, mate. I've changed my diets. I've now cut out most of what meat I was eating. I still eat fish, but even then it's not often really. Sort of semi-vegetarian, I guess, really. Yeah. Which helps.
Pescatarian?
Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah.
Fish and veg.
Yeah. And actually that comes from the 2 weeks I spent in Chelmsford because my friends are vegan.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, literally as I pulled up to the house, my friend Dave said to me, he goes, because we're vegans, we don't have any meat or cheese in the house other than the vegan alternative, and that goes for milk. And I was like, I've got to have my milk, mate. That's I will happily, what's the word? Forgo the meat and the cheese. I'll have whatever you give me. But honestly, milk, I love my milk. So that was the one compromise we made, was they allowed me to have milk, like regular cow's milk. And obviously that was set alongside the vegan alternative.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. That opened my eyes to certain things. Because it was interesting because before I moved, I wasn't eating as much meat anyway. So I was eating less meat. So it wasn't as if it was a massive change, but I think being with them and, eating whatever they were making, at meal times, kind of made me go, actually, I miss eating vegetables and rice and pasta and eating less bread. Because bread's something else which I find very stodgy if I eat too much bread. So really, it was just, and I think that having that change, forcing that change, has made me a happier person. Because we are what we eat. It's a cliche, but it's true. So there was that, and then obviously my home situation wasn't fun, and I didn't want to be there anymore. And actually, I think there's a term that I've coined this week, which is a well-meaning kick up the bum. Okay, so a well-meaning kick up the bum, and what that means is sometimes we're in these ruts. Okay, we find ourselves in a rut, in a trench, right? And sometimes we don't want to, we want to maybe make a change, but because we're in this rut of we're conforming to a way of life that we're comfortable with, we don't want to, we don't want to chance it, we don't want to risk it, because we might end up in a different place, or we might end up in a different situation which makes us feel uncomfortable. And sometimes we all need a well-meaning kick up the bum to force us to actually change things around, regardless of the outcome. Hopes a good outcome.
I had that in as soon as we found out that we were having a baby.
Yeah,
that happened to me. So it was we were already engaged.
Yeah.
And became pregnant, and then I was like, right, time to step up, do the right thing. Let's go
Yeah.
get married. Got married. Job offer came up. Moved for the job, relocated, new house, new family. And, you know, that the pregnancy was the catalyst that took my life from being a 30-year-old stuck in a sort of 18-year-old's mindset and kind of not wanting to change and being stuck in a rut to actually growing up and being a man, actually. And, you know, it's, for me personally, it's the best thing I ever did. And it's the hardest thing I've ever done as well, without a doubt. And the first year was rough. Because, you know, we were new parents, you know, newly married, new job, new town, no friends around us. And it was hard, very hard. But, you know, everything, I won't say everything, but like, you know, most of the time, everything's great, like brilliant. You know, the kids, you know, Penny's going through her terrible twos right now. So it's a bit hard, but it's, you know, it's a phase and it's going to pass and everything's going to be great again soon.
No, I mean, I'm happy for you, man, and that's great. I think because I'm not so I kind of in a similar position really, and I don't know, I kind of I think maybe it's the maybe I'm more willing now. I think the problem was before was that I got into my head, you know, I'm here to do one thing and I'm going to try and do one thing and I'm going to stick to it regardless, even if it's not working out and not adapt.
What was that one thing?
To be creative and to share that creativity with other people. But the problem is that if one outlet of that creativity isn't connecting with people and you're not doing anything to either change it or to do something else, then I guess you're just kind of wasting time really. And I think there are, and also that applies to one's happiness. Because for so long now, I've said, oh, I wanted to do music and I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. And I think I kind of like the idea of doing it more than actually doing it. And you know, when you get to that point, it's sometimes the idea of having something is more enticing than the reality. Of making that thing happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And that wasn't always the case.
Like owning a particular car, you know, having a relationship with a particular girl.
Well, even just
getting
putting
a particular
work.
job, you know, eating. You know, it happens all the time. You know, we're hunters though, aren't we? So you know, some of us, we love the chase more than the actual the result.
The reward, and the thing is that I got to a point when I realized that what I loved, let's take music for an example. So for a very long time when I was younger, in my sort of teens and 20s, so that whole thing, I was in bands and chasing the, you know, being the rock star and all that stuff. And for a long time, that's what I wanted to do. And then it didn't really happen, but I somehow got it into my head, you know, that that's something I still want to do. But in reality, the thing is that I think some people are destined to do certain things. And I think some people are destined to carry on pursuing certain things, regardless of whether they achieve that thing or not. And for me, I kind of should have just said, look, maybe that's not for me, but let's go and do something else and put my time and effort and, you know, and energies into that other thing and really try and make that other thing work. Which I guess I kind of did with the filmmaking and the acting, and that didn't really go anywhere. And I kind of got burned, I think, burnt a lot by lots of that creative stuff. So nowadays, I'm just kind of like, you know what, let's not ignore or choose to ignore or block out the universe and what it's trying to tell me. So, for example, where I'm living now isn't really where I thought I wanted to live, and so I was trying to go back to my previous area, and nothing seems to have really clicked, and nothing seems to have happened. So I'm like, well, maybe I'm meant to be where I'm meant to be. And another thing that makes me think that is the new job I have. To cut a long story down, to make it shorter, the place I'm working at, the bookstore, is in this place. There are other different branches in my area where I could be working, but the person I met who interviewed me, who thinks I'm living at my old place, right? If that makes sense. They don't
Yeah.
know that I'm in this area now. They've put me in the local branch.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the universe is saying, look, dude, you are exactly where you need to be right now.
Yeah.
Stay there. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm always going to be here. It could just be a temporary thing for a month or two, maybe into the new year, and maybe I'll move somewhere else. But for now, it's more a case of, look, you are where you need to be, trust in the universe. Sounds incredibly, new wavy. And just go with the flow. And I'm more accepting of that now, much more so now than I did before. And that's probably one of the reasons why I feel happier.
Yeah.
It's just like, doesn't matter. Just whatever happens, happens. And then we'll see what happens and where it goes, where it leads to.
You say like trust in the universe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you believe in God?
No, not really. No, I don't believe.
But you believe
God.
in something, that the universe has got an intelligence to it, and that there is some sort of force that pulls you in one direction or the other. Isn't that God?
Oh man, that's a heavy topic.
I'm not, I'm not saying
No.
religion. I'm not saying religion. I'm just saying, like, isn't that,
I think we all want to believe in something. We'd like to believe in something because then it gives our lives more meaning.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point of religion. Sorry to sound obvious there, but and I don't know. I'd like to think that. Look, we are responsible for our own lives, obviously.
So you believe in agency, personal agency?
I think we are. I think we are responsible for what we do, what we say and do.
I think so, definitely. I believe in personal agency and personal responbility and making things happen for yourself. Yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, it's nice to think that maybe, there's something. I'm not going to say God, but I mean, like when I say the universe, I mean like, the way of life or whatever. Sometimes it's more of a feeling.
Yeah.
If something feels right, and it's also like example with my new job. My new job's located close to where I'm living now, even though really that wasn't the expectation. So that's coincidence. That's telling me something. When something works, it's that thing of like, if something's working, then to me that's almost like the universe saying, hey, stick with this. This is coming together nicely.
Yeah. Whereas
if it's not happening and you're still, trying to, the axe to the grind, and you're making yourself more unhappy and stressed out, and it's like, for what purpose? What am I achieving here? Other than, in some ways, self-harm, negative energy harming us. So I don't know. I guess it's just the little things in life which, like signposts almost. Go down here. This is where you should be going. Don't go down the other way.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
I definitely feel. I feel that, and I get that. I've got another question for you. Are you Banksy? Maybe. Have I caught you?
No, I'm not Banksy.
Oh, okay.
It'd be cool if I was. That would be amazing. That would be like, aha.
It was just like what it popped in my head that when you were talking about being creative and moving around a little bit, I thought, is he Banksy? Have I accidentally befriended Banksy?
Is that the only reason why we're friends? You thought I was Banksy all this time, and now
no, I literally only thought that in the last 5 minutes.
Shattered that dream.
No, I thought you were Michael Ironside.
No, I'm not Michael Ironside. No. Sadly, I did see Michael Ironside once from afar at a comic book convention. When they've got all the celebrities, lined up at the tables, sitting at the tables, and you go and spend your £50 for an autograph.
Yeah, I saw Kit Harington once, but I wasn't watching Game of Thrones at the time.
Yeah,
and I was just didn't care. I was more interested in Vern Troyer. And
from
Mini
Game
Me.
of Thrones.
No, Mini Me.
Oh,
Vern Troyer,
Mini Me. Yeah.
Before he passed away.
Yeah, I saw not Ronnie Barker. The one who played R2D2.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his name.
That is Ronnie Barker, isn't it?
No, Ronnie Barker.
Ronnie Baker.
Ronnie Baker.
Is it Ronnie Baker?
No, Ronnie Barker's from the two Ronnies. Ronnie Baker is
Ronnie Baker.
And he was, and it was just before he died, and he did look ill. He didn't look very well, bless him.
Well, generally, unless it's unexpected, you do look a bit rough before you die.
Yeah.
Unless you get Ronnie
But
Baker.
it's trying to be nice. But he's like, oh, it is Ronnie Barker
Baker?
there.
I don't think it's Ronnie Baker. No.
Ronnie Baker. Sorry, yeah, Ronnie Baker. I'm sure it's Ronnie Baker.
Kenny Baker.
Kenny Baker. We were close.
From Time Bandits.
Yeah, and R2D2.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he looked ill. Yeah, I once met Scott Bakula at one of those
Scott
events.
Bakula.
Yeah, man.
Really?
It's a legend.
Scott Bakula is he's in one of my favorite episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Is he in that? I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's called The Gang Turns Black. It's a phenomenal episode. It's a musical episode.
Oh, nice.
Let me the gang.
Well, I've seen a few of them. I saw the episode where is it Charlie? What's his name? The one with the beard who's in Pacific Rim when he writes his musical and he puts it on at the local community.
Yeah, the Night Man Cometh.
Yeah. And, what is it? And Danny DeVito basically plays a paedophile.
Yeah. The Gang Turns Black is season 12, episode 1. It's on Netflix, so you should check it out. And it's a musical episode, and it's got Scott Bakula in it.
Amazing.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but there's a storm. They all fall asleep watching a film. There's an electrical storm, and when they wake up, they look in the mirror, and they're not themselves. They're African American people.
Oh, right.
And so they have to figure out, they're trying to figure out why have they been put in these bodies? And it's a musical, and it's honestly, I think, my favorite episode of the whole seasons, season. Yeah, so good. Apart from maybe The Gang Hits the Slopes. Have you ever seen that one?
Which one's that?
I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. The Gang Hits the Slopes. Yeah, The Gang Hits the Slopes. That's season 11, episode 3.
Okay.
And the beginning of that, like the opening, is all of the guys on the top of a mountain with skis on, and you get Van Halen's Panama coming on, and they're like going skiing like down the mountain, like doing backflips and 360s and all sorts of stuff. Amazing. Like that whole episode's great. Did you ever see a film called Ski School in the 80s?
No.
It's kind of like based on that a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right, okay.
Yeah, so good. Where you have like a group of rich a-holes who are like buying the mountain, and then like you have the young sort of down and outs who like they're in a competition to see who wins the right to ski on the mountain every season.
So basically it's kind of like Footloose but on a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of the right to dance, it's the right to ski on the mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
With chicks and beer.
Woo!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the guy from that film from the 80s, he's in this episode, and he's like, he never grew up out of that role. So he's just like a loser, still living in like a basement or something, still getting drunk every day, but he's like 50 odd.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I like the fact that does he play the same character from the film?
Yeah, he plays the same character.
That's amazing. It's like there's an SNL Saturday Night Live clip of a sketch with Zach. What's his name from
Galifianakis?
No, from High School Musical.
Efron.
Yeah, Zac Efron. And the idea is he goes back to High School Musical, and it's during a graduation day, and they haven't come out, and everyone's doing the whole that kind of thing. And he's like, stop. Real life is not like this. Everyone thinks we're weird and crazy. And everyone's like, no, don't say that. It's quite funny. Yeah.
It's so good. Have you seen his travel show? where he's eating food
Oh.
around the world?
No.
Yeah, Zac Efron. He's got like it's quite good.
That is faint praise. Yeah, it's quite good.
No,
All right.
no, it is. It is. Like, I like him.
Okay.
Travel. Zac Efron travel show.
Does it beat Travel Man?
It's called Down to Earth with Zac Efron.
Right.
And
Okay.
it's on Netflix. So yeah, it is definitely worth a watch. But I just feel like this I don't know whether it's his face or like the way like, no offense, like, he's a beautiful human, but like the way he reacts to certain things or situations is not how I expected him to react. I know that's
Okay.
I guess that's a weird thing to say. I feel like maybe he has been isolated a little bit from real life in some way, a little bit, because of his stardom.
Yeah.
So he finds things surprising that I wouldn't, you or I wouldn't find surprising.
Sure.
But yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. Like, Down to Earth with Zac Efron. That's cool.
Yeah, sure. Okay, man, I might check that out. Check it out. Look, man, it's been over 2 hours, mate. I might have to go now.
Yeah. I'm getting pretty hot in here.
Is that because you're wearing a scarf and a hat?
I'm wearing a scarf, and not only that, have you got a towel handy? I'm wearing a turtleneck sweater.
Why?
Because it's sexy.
Why? No. I'll tell you something. Right, here's the story. You remember Trisha? Do you remember the show Trisha?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. They used to film that in Norwich. And I went up there once with my school. I know it was college. I was in college school. Sixth form at my school. And they did a trip. They organised a trip so we could go and be in the audience. Actually be in the audience. Be the audience for an episode of Trisha, right? And this is when Trisha was like massive. On Channel 3.
The British Oprah.
Yeah.
Well, you can say that.
Well, no, she wasn't really. But anyway. Yeah, so, early morning TV, Channel 3, big deal. It was a big deal. Anyway, so we were there, and I was young, and I was wearing turtleneck, big chunky turtleneck. Yeah. And those lights were hot.
Yeah.
That was a rough experience, but I did ask a question. That was cool. I put my hand up. Trisha came over because it was an episode about I think it was about sons dating women that their mothers didn't approve of.
Yeah.
So for when I asked a question, there was an older guy in his 40s dating this really unpleasant young woman in her 20s, like a bit rough. Sorry, that's the reality of it. And the mum was a bit kind of all over the place, really. And she was like, "Oh, Trisha this, no, Trisha that," and I was like, "Okay, fine." So I raised my hand. Everyone, turtleneck, looking a bit like Phil Mitchell, a young Phil Mitchell, on a day trip from Watford, or Walford, I should say. So I had it, and then Trisha comes over, puts the microphone. I stand up, right? And I said to the mum, I said, "Well, okay, so your son's dating this woman. Okay, fine." So I said, I made the mistake of asking an intelligent question on Trisha, right? So I said, well, what kind of characteristics do you look for in the women that your son dates? What do you like? And it was really annoying because on the broadcast, you couldn't hear this, but Trisha looked at me. And this is the moment that me and Trisha will always have. And she said, "Good question."
Yeah.
Thanks. It's like, But it was really funny because I did have the video cassette of the show, and I don't have it anymore. But I remember. So I asked the question. Trisha said her thing in my ear, and then the mum is giving the answer, right? But she's not looking at me. She's looking at Trisha. She keeps saying Trisha this, Trisha that. And two, she doesn't actually answer my question. But I'm there kind of, yeah, nice, thinking, you're not answering my question and you're not looking at me yet. Yeah. So that's my Trisha story. There we go.
So what was she like, Trisha, then? All right.
Yeah, I mean, she seemed pleasant enough. Yeah, she was nice, and she said not.
I wonder what Trisha's doing now.
She's in America.
Oh, doing the same thing.
I don't know. Because every time she appears on like Good Morning Britain, she appears as a sort of as a guest when they're talking about something. I say, oh, we've got Trisha and we've got someone else, and so she's like on Zoom, and it's usually from America because that's where she's living now.
I haven't watched actual TV for years.
Yeah,
years. Like I literally only watch Amazon Prime, Netflix, Now TV, or YouTube, or Disney Plus.
Yeah,
that's it. And and that's not all the time. Most of the time, I watch Family Guy. That's it.
Yeah, I don't watch as much TV as I used to.
Yeah, I only really watch Seinfeld or Family Guy. That's it.
Yeah,
or Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Rick and Morty.
That's my level. Like those three shows on repeat. That's it.
I've not seen Rick and Morty for a while. Because I don't. What series is on Netflix? The first two are on Netflix.
No, there's more than that now.
Oh, is there? I need to go back and rewatch the third. I think it's the third series. Third series or fourth series.
Yeah, I think the fourth one is out because it's on Channel 4.
Yeah.
But the third one is on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Paradise PD?
No.
That's really good. You need to watch that. That is so funny.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
Is that
really
a cartoon
funny.
series?
Yeah.
I did watch some of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Yeah, it's Bob's Burgers is okay.
Have you seen it? Sorry, go on. No, after you've gone.
I was going to say I didn't like it like the first few times I watched it, but Bob's Burgers is like a grower for me. I do like it now. Final Space is another good animated one.
I haven't seen
on Netflix, and Big Mouth.
Yeah. Did you watch Archer? Did you ever see Archer?
Yeah.
Did you see the episode? Did you see the episode of Archer that's set in Bob's Burgers? And it turns out
they always do that.
Yeah, and the idea is that on Archer's day off, he goes and does
that. Yeah.
He's Bob in Bob's Burgers.
But he's also, the newsagent guy who hangs out with Chris Griffin in Family Guy. It's the same guy again. So they make cracks about it in Family Guy.
Right.
He's like, it's like sometimes he's in the newsagent, sometimes he's in the video rental place.
Yeah.
That guy. And
okay.
Yeah. So he makes references to Archer and Bob's Burgers.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, man. Well, look, man, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming. Since September, I get slammed with work, and it's just.
So I should ask. So obviously, post my talk to your class, how was that met?
Yeah, good.
What was it met with? Yeah,
really good. They liked it.
Yeah,
it was inspirational to them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, kids. It's hard.
Yeah, it's tough out there. Stay focused.
Yeah, don't suck. Well, that's cool, because I was kind of worried that I might come across as a bit too morose or down, you know.
No,
but I was just trying to be.
It was difficult, wasn't it? Because I was feeling stressed because of the technical issues that we were having with the audio, and the kids were starting to take the piss a bit. So I was, but it all worked out in the end, and it was good. It was good, but I think they got a lot out of it. They did like it. They know your name. They go, oh, how's Lee doing? And I go, who? And they go, Lee Hutchings. And I go, oh, yeah, all right, yeah. Because I kind of think, like, how did they know? Because I forget.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, did you watch the podcast? And they go, no, you remember he was in induction? I was, oh, yeah.
You know, if you want to, you can. I'm happy for them to follow me on Instagram or
I told them.
Have you?
Yeah.
If they want to follow me, wherever, I'm happy, and I'm also happy to answer any questions if they have any. So if they've got any questions, they're happy to I'm happy for them to send them over, and I'll answer them as honest as I can. Yeah,
we'll do.
Sure.
Yeah, I will do. Next week is what's called Risk It Week, where we can do whatever we want as teachers. So my colleague Chris was like, "Yeah, I'm going to risk it by not bothering coming in." I can see how they go by themselves.
He comes back a week later. The school's burnt down. Yeah. There's loo roll flying everywhere. The toilet's busted up, and it's all spurting water. But
so what are you going to have for your tea?
Good question, because I had fish and chips earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, that was funny. So I went swimming this morning.
Is that where you got the fish?
The want for fish and chips all week, right? I thought, I'm going to earn this. So I've been eating really healthily and started swimming and, looking after myself and everything. So I thought today, you know what, I'm going to go swimming and then I'll come back, get changed. And then by that point, the fish and chip shop will be open, the one that's down the road. Yeah. My landlord has told me good things about that chipping. It's chipping. So I went down there and I thought, you know what, I'll try to be sensible. Instead of just ordering a big plate of food and being a pig, I thought, you know what, I'll order, because I haven't had any kind of meat, regular meat or fish for over a week now. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy myself a nice, large cod.
I thought you were going to say foot-long sausage.
No, I'm a pescatarian now, remember?
Okay.
So big piece of fish, right? Big cod, battered cod. And I thought I'll get some small chips. Not so fussed about the chips this time.
Yeah.
Just get the fish, the cod, and a small pot of mushy peas, right? I thought that would be nice. Okay. So I went into the chip shop. Nice people who work there, and the place is nice. It's been refurbished and it's looking very, very clean and professional. So I said to the guy, the owner, who's cooking the food, and I said, look, I want a big piece of cod, right, large cod. And I said, I want a small chips. And he said, well, do you mean regular size or child size? And I thought child size is going to be too small because it's going to be like dinky, like whatever.
Yeah.
So I said, well, what's regular? And he showed me the box, sort of like that big, and right. And I'm like, okay, well, they won't put that many chips in the box.
Yeah.
Because they like to skimp on the chips, most chippies anyway that I've been to. So I get the fish, nice big bit of fish, and then I get the chip box, and it
keeps going.
Shit, this wasn't what I planned. What's going on? So literally, I got this massive piece of cod, massive box of chips, which is a regular size, not a large size. And I'm going, this is like a meal for two. It's crazy. And I got this massive pot of mushy peas
as well.
I thought it was going to be like a small one.
Yeah.
So I brought it home and I ended up having the fish with about half of the box of chips and half of the mushy peas. And I've still got the chips and the leftover chips and mushy peas in the fridge.
You're going to snack on them for your tea?
I don't know, mate.
Or are you going to get something fresh?
I might have a sandwich or something. I tend to, if I have a big...
Why don't you have a chip butty?
Mate, that's a lot of carbs though. That's a lot of carbs.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
You could walk it off tomorrow. Maybe,
or I can have the chips tomorrow.
Yeah.
Spread it out over 2 days, so I'm not such a fat pig.
Yeah.
No, fatty. With my diminishing belly, which I'm quite happy about. But yeah, so that was funny to that. I mean, I found it funny just because they piled it on. I went in with the best of intentions and came out with the total opposite of what I wanted. But
maybe the guy thought you looked hungry and he was trying to help you out.
Yeah, maybe he thought I looked rake-like.
Rake-like.
Like a rake, skinny as a rake.
Yeah.
It's an expression. Okay?
Yeah. You don't see many rakes nowadays, do you?
I don't know, mate. Do you?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
They don't really. No.
Do people not use rakes?
No, they use leaf blowers, or their lawnmower tends to have a thing on the back that collects the grass.
Yeah, but you should still try and rake your grass after you've cut it.
Why?
because when you cut it, you're left with the cut, wet, damp grass.
Yeah.
That's not good. You want to clear it so the grass can grow through. And then you've got that grass, the leftover grass that you've cut.
Yeah.
The damp grass. You can then use that, and you can use it to fertilize other things. I'm just saying.
So, yeah. So, I think that's it, isn't it? We've gone much longer than I thought.
Yeah. When you said 30 to 40 minutes, I thought that would be the day.
It just, I didn't anticipate that we would be going for this long. So thanks for your time.
That's all right, man. Thank you. And also, you can cut this down and out and maybe if
I might make a couple of episodes if there's enough.
If there's enough stuff there, for sure. Part 1 and part 2, whatever. But if any of your students want to find out what's happening with me, just show them this, maybe.
Will do.
Yeah. All right, man.
Definitely. Okay, buddy. Well, enjoy your night, and good catching up with you. I think I've learned more about you today.
I don't know what you mean. Oh shit! Cut.
Okay, so all right. I'll see you. I'll see you on the flip side. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button
and subscribe.
And subscribe.
That's what Adam Buxton sings on his podcast. I'm stealing from Adam Buxton. Apologies to Adam Buxton if he's watching this. But like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. That's his thing. I don't own the copyright to that.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, mate. See you.